Hey folks, this is a Filipino fishing ninja here. I'm sitting here in Rochelle, Illinois at a lake, not catching anything. Should have gone to the river, but oh well, I don't have much time, so I figure I'd give you a little short video on a little tip and trick that I do when I fish the river for smallmouth. I like to leave all my expensive tournament tackle at home. I usually don't bring my tungstens or thick wired hooks with me. I like to downgrade a little bit, and I buy stuff like the Eagle Claw 1/8 ounce tube head jigs, and I throw a lot of little crappie jigs. This one here is made by Callan's. It's got a light wire hook, and the reason why is in the river you're always fighting current and everything else besides the wind and snags, okay? And when it comes to snags, you tend to have to paddle back up stream and get your snag out. Well, if you use light wire hooks like this, you can slowly bend the hook out, and it makes it a little bit less frustrating. I like to run, with the open hooks on the jigs or on the baits on the river usually, and I'll put on stuff like a little fluke, little tiny tubes, run little craws. Them smallies like them craws. And Bass Pro Shop Cincos, the little short ones that they sell there. So you might want to wacky jig it. I'll use the same crappie jig, whatever. The thing is it's a lot less frustrating. I've used the expensive hooks and whatnot. I had a friend come with me before. He brought all the expensive tackle. He got really frustrated losing jigs. He ended up running through $15 worth of jigs, and I finally tossed him a pack of my cheap stuff, and I'm like, why do you use the cheap stuff? Well, you know what, you can straighten out the hook on the cheap stuff, and if you lose it, you're not out 15 bucks. So I also will use a medium light rod, which this is my river setup, for the 1/8 ounce and 16th ounce stuff I'll toss. But I suggest that you use a nice braid of some sort. This here is nanofill, so use a super line of some sort, and I'll use this is 12-pound nanofill with a 8 or 6-pound fluorocarbon I put on there. And if the hook doesn't straighten out and you have to snap it, it'll usually snap at the knot where the jig's tied on, so then you don't have to sit here and retie your leader line and everything else, and the fluorocarbon definitely helps in the rocks on the river. I still bring my top waters and some expensive hard baits and stuff, but when it comes down to the losing all the tungsten weights and the more expensive VMC jigs and stuff like that, it saves time, and it saves the frustration of having to paddle upstream and try to get your snag out. You're sitting here trying to paddle, hold a rod, not get tangled up in trees and everything else, when you can just slowly pull and bend the hook. It's definitely a must, but you need a hook sharpener too. I'll usually bend the hooks back 4 or 5 times, and then after that I cut it off and I tie a new one on, and it sure makes for a more enjoyable fishing trip down a river. There's your tip for today. See you later, guys.